Hi guys, welcome. I just wanted to go over a little bit on many questions that buyers have or sellers have when it comes to selling your home or buying a home. And I kind of sometimes go off subject. So we're gonna do a little bit of Q&A to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand and stay on pace. One of the main things that people always ask is what are the requirements to purchase a home. So you need to have, depending on the down payment amount that you're willing to give or able to give, you're going to either need a 660 credit score, or if you need down payment assistance, and you're going to need about $7,000 for the down. And then if you don't need down payment assistance, then it's about $25,000 for the down, and you can have as low as a 620 credit score. If you don't know what your credit score is, one of the loan officers can check it for you, or you could just download, a credit card map just to get an idea. But those apps are not precise when it comes to mortgage credit scores. But just to give you an idea of where you stand, don't let what the credit score on these apps, detain you from applying. And then you do have to have a 2-year work history. Sometimes it can be less if you have some sort of degree in the career that you chose and you were in school, and that's the reason why you don't have the 2-year work history. Or sometimes they'll make some exceptions. It can be, like close to 2 years. And as far as so I went over the amount you'll need, the credit score you're going to need, and then the work history you're going to need. And as far as the amount that you'll qualify for is going to depend on the income that you make, and based on that they determine how much you can afford a payment for monthly, and then from there a price.
What if I am thinking about selling my house?
If you're thinking about selling your house, the first thing that I suggest is I come out to your property so I can give you an estimate of what your home value is. A lot of the determining factors when knowing what your home is worth is the condition of your home. And so I come out, and you don't have to have it super clean. I'm not going to take pictures when I first come out. I'm just going to come out and look at the bones of the house and upgrades, and then I'll make suggestions, if I think it's a small cost, but it'll be a very big profit for you when you sell. And I tell you the price that I think we can list it for, the expenses involved, what your profit's going to be. And then based on that profit, then if you're thinking of selling and buying, then on the purchase side, the lender will be able to know how much money you have to work with from the sale of the house in order to determine on the purchase side. And I'm going to have another video that's going to go more into depth with this, because it is a very popular subject and a very thorough one that I need to explain in detail.
Perfect. If I decide to go through with either transaction, how long does closing typically take?
Right now, lenders, if they do a good job at pre-qualifying you and getting all the documentation from you up front, if you're a buyer, they are going to need to collect 2 years tax returns with W-2s, 1 month pay stubs, 2 months bank statements. So if you are really good at gathering all that documentation and providing it to them up front, then when you do find a home, it's going to go by really, really fast, typically 25 to 30 days. And then if you're on the sales side, then your closing is going to depend on how fast the buyer can move. But in order to stay competitive, most buyers are saying they can close within 25 to 30 days. And that's always, disclosed up front to the seller, so that the seller also has an idea of, when they got to move out.
Who pays for what?
So it's not just your down payment that you're going to be spending for. You're also going to be spending, and a lot of these other items that I'm going to go over are optional, but we highly, highly recommend them, because you don't want to make a blind purchase. As a buyer, you want to know what you're paying for, So you want a general home inspector, a certified home inspector to tell you what condition the home is in. So they check for things like heating and air, electricity, plumbing, foundation, roof, and so based on what they find wrong, then you can use that to ask for repairs from the seller or a credit, and then you do the repairs on your own after. But that typically costs, a general home inspection typically costs between $350 and $500 depending on the company that you use. We do get a discount from the companies that we use because luckily we do have high volume closings, and so we give them a lot of business, so we get discounted prices for our clients.
Perfect. Who is involved in this transaction?
So I'm your first point of contact, and I'm considered the either the buyer's agent or the seller's agent, which they also call listing agent. And the listing agent represents the seller, the buyer's agent represents the buyer. And then I'm kind of your main point of contact. From there, I do have a transaction coordinator. She kind of handles more of the paperwork part of things and assists with the transaction. She might also be your, contacting you. There's also the title company, and because we want to make sure that the house is free of any liens, and the loan officer wants to know also that the house is free of any liens, and even sometimes they run a check on the buyer as well. And then the buyer's lender. Most of the buyers nowadays, with prices being so high, they need financing. They're not able to purchase cash, and so the buyer's lender is also involved, and they're the ones doing the loan, and they're the ones that usually answer most of the finance questions. And then there's also, like I had mentioned earlier, a home inspector that you hire. You can hire whoever you like, or you can hire who we recommend. And then there's a pest inspector and a roof inspector, and then depending on the type of property, if it's a property with acreage, you might need a septic inspection and a well inspection. And so all of those inspections do run at the cost of the buyer, not the seller, because it's the buyer that wants more information in order to make an informed decision on whether they want to go through with the purchase or not. There's the appraiser that says what the home value is. So that's one of the benefits of financing, is that you can know that what you invested is actually going to be worth it. And then so it's the buyer's agent, the seller's agent, the transaction coordinator, the escrow officer, which is also the title officer, the appraiser, the inspectors, and then there's also a home warranty you can purchase, and you're going to need to get a homeowner's insurance quote, and so that's pretty much everyone that's involved in the transaction. But your agent is the one that usually talks to everyone and coordinates. Your lender does too, but your agent is usually your point of contact.
And what sets your brokerage apart from other ones local?
Well, I know I've always been told, and even when my other agents, when I ask for feedback from clients, how my other agents have done, the one thing that everybody always says, that we explain everything very thoroughly, that they don't feel rushed or pressured, that we're all very educated, and every single thing that they've ever questioned was answered. And we built a really strong reputation in the area. So not only were most of us, born and raised here, but we've worked so much in the area that other agents know who we are, and so it's very easy for our offers to get accepted. And when we represent sellers, we do a ton of marketing, so that helps get the home sold, and other agents want to work with us and provide offers to us, because they know we work well with others, because unfortunately, or actually luckily for us, reputation does count a lot, and there are some agents that aren't easy to work with, but luckily we have. But
That's good. That's great. All right. So any further information, they can reach out to you, I'm sure.
Just make,
Questions?
yeah, I think I said this before, just reach out. Don't wait until you have the perfect scenario. Don't wait till you think you have, all the money you need or the credit score you need, or the house has to be super clean for me to go look at it. Just reach out to me, because 90% of the clients that have finally reached out to me always say, oh, I wish I would have contacted you sooner. I think it would have helped me make my decision, quicker. Now I waited, and so you don't have to be super ready by the time you contact me. So that, because with the information that I'm going to provide to you, it's either going to, help you move forward, or you might have to wait, but at least we're going to get to some sort of plan. Thank you guys so much. We will be following up with more, little videos, and if there's anything else that you guys should, have questions about, reach out and we'll try to cover it too. Have a good day.